Welcome back to Made in Zolo. Hope you enjoyed the video. My wife's actually going to show you her recipe for doing sourdough bread.
With my sourdough bread, I measure everything. Just so that everybody knows, I'll put the ingredients down below so you can follow along with me as I do my bread. First, what we need to do, everything gets weighed. So I have my container here. I have my unit to get it on. So I always measure everything in grams. The first thing that we're going to be using is our sourdough starter. This is our sourdough starter. So what we're going to be using is 250 grams of sourdough. Perfect, 250. In the meantime, let's get started here. Right now, we're going to be using warm water from the tap. With the tap water, ours is actually a well water, so I would suggest not to use town water because it has different chemicals and that will make a difference to your sourdough. I'll be using 640 grams of warm water. Before we put 640 in, we're going to just zero it back out. Spatula, and we need to stir this up till the sourdough starter is mixed within the water. The next thing that I use in my sourdough, it's only a 3 ingredient. So I'm going to zero it out again. And now I need 1,000 grams of flour. What I like to do is I put my lid on this. So I place the lid on at this point so that the flour absorbs the moisture. So it'll be there for 30 minutes. 30 minutes has gone by. And the next step is just stretching the dough. Now I have a bowl of water. I put water in here because sourdough can be very sticky, as you can see. And what we're going to do is stretch it. I like to stretch it 5 or 6 times around. There's no specific amount of times you need to stretch it. And that's all we need to do now. Now that it's all stretched and everything, it's going to take 3 to 6 hours for it to double in size where we want it to go. It took 4 hours to get it just over double. So it'll only be a second. This one takes a little longer to get out. It is a very sticky, and I like putting a little on top and a little on my hands because it is so moist. And I'm just going to roll it over. One way, and I'm going to roll it back the other way. So I'm just going to cut it in half. What I like to do is to weigh, when I cut it in half, I like to weigh it to try to get it as close as possible to even sized loaves. That looks right. So I'm going to just put a little bit of flour on it. So what we need to do is to fold, and what we need is to roll our dough just with one hand. And we're going to roll it and roll it till we get to a circle. And here we are. We have our nice round dough. We're going to leave it to the side, and then I'm going to take out the proofing baskets, and I'll show you what I do with the proofing baskets. What I really do like to do is to actually put parchment paper in them. This will stop them from sticking to the bowl, and easy for us to get them right into the oven, into our Dutch ovens as well. So I'll take one loaf. So here we go. Just letting those rise up for another hour or 2. We want it double, not quite double the size, but we want it up over the bowl. Okay, we've had it in the oven for 30 minutes and then took the lid off for 10 more. So it's been 40 minutes that the bread has been in the oven, and it's done to perfection at this point. I'm just going to put them to the side. Salted butter. I don't put salt in my bread for my own, but I do take salted butter and I do butter over the outsides of the breads. Now, we like our breads a little bit more chewy, Then we do crispy. If you like a nice crispy bread, then butter is just optional for you. I'm just going to do it here, and we're going to flip it over. I'm just about done here. Usually what we like to do is let it cool a little bit.
This is our bread on the inside. So you can tell the yeast did its job. Really good, tasty. Now, this is really the only type of bread I eat. I don't eat any other type of bread, just sourdough bread that we make at home. Because I know what's in it, and I know there's no vegetable oils or sugar or anything added to it. So, this is very tasty. Now, I don't eat a lot of this. A loaf of bread like that will probably last us over a week. All depends on how much bread they'll eat, usually. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sour bread it's not a lot of work to make, but it does take the entire day to do because you're waiting in between times for it to rise, and then you gotta wait to bake it, and so it's pretty much an all-day event when you're starting to make sourdough bread this way. So yeah, maybe consider subscribing, smash that like button, leave a comment, let us know how you like Dale's sourdough bread recipe and the video. And thanks for watching again. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't eat too much bread.